Okay, so we will start now. Welcome to the November Zoom of the Jaffna Club.
Recording in progress.
I wonder why it told us that twice.
Hi, Kula.
Okay, so the presentation today will be introduced by Kaushal Rajapaksa, but the main presenter will be Shanti Bhagirathan.
Bhagirathan. You can call me Shanti. Yes.
Thank you. The topic will be the Northern Investment Summit, which the Management Club, 25-year-old club based in Colombo, is facilitating. To start off with, as usual, for people who haven't been at a Jaffna Club Zoom before, I quickly go through the objective. The club will facilitate, foster and support social intercourse and fellowship among its members. It will build a network of members and non-members that can work together to promote the economic development of the Northern Province. What is the club for? The club's a catalyst to help people like us connect with each other, help people like us connect with Northern entrepreneurs and business opportunities. And the reason I say it is a catalyst is that the club doesn't attempt to build an empire. It doesn't set up businesses. The club does not raise funds. It does not make donations, but it connects people who may decide to do that of their own accord. We've had an uninterrupted series of monthly meetings since September 2020. So we're now a little over 5 years old. And I just page through this slowly so you can see the people who have spoken at the club Zooms. And here you see a who's who of people who've been active in the Northern economy. If someone is going to do a documentary, they could use this list as a starting point. We have investors, we've had a past governor. I'm hoping to invite the current governor. We've had entrepreneurs from IT, from tourism, from agriculture. So now we come to today's presentation. So, Kaushal, I think you're making the initial introduction, and then
Yes.
Shanti will
Yes.
take over. So, Kaushal, would you like to take over?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Vanakkam. Thank you, Chekan and Vashi, and all of you for giving us the opportunity to present ourselves. The Northern Investment Summit, a plan by the people of people of Northern Province for the people of North. So, Jagan have very clearly explained about our TMC club. So we have to give you an update, all of you. We have had very good, very productive meetings with the governor of North, and then on the request of the GAs, we had individual meetings with all the GAs visiting their districts. So we have received their plans which is probable investment opportunities. So we are in the process of collecting this information and analyzing it, and we will be soon uploading those opportunities on the website. Our website is live now. So Shanti will explain much deeper on that. So what I want to tell all of you, we have the Jaffna Club. It's called the Management Club of Jaffna, and that's a very dynamic club, and it is chaired by university lecturer called Anu Raghavan. And so far, we have seen a very enthusiastic team of professionals in the north helping us. And also, thanks to Niranjan, the Jaffna Managers Forum coordinator, we have immense support, and I'm very thankful. Jekan coming all the way from north to meet us in Colombo and to get to know more information. And so I don't want to talk too much because you will listen to Shanti in detail. Shanti is our deputy chairperson of the Northern Investment Summit Committee, and we have a very dynamic committee. So, friends on Zoom, thank, thanks again for giving us the opportunity. And Kula, everybody who are online, who have contacts, connections world over, please see that you get them to know about the Northern Investment Summit. Shanti, after the presentation, she will share this brochure, because we want you all to come to Sri Lanka. We want you all to motivate your friends to come to Sri Lanka for this summit and invest for the development of North. So, having said that, thank you very much, Jagan, for the opportunity. And I hand over to Shanti to continue. Thank you.
So hi everyone, and I'm glad to see all known faces, which is good. Thank you, Jagan, for the opportunity, and thank you, team, for kind of giving this time to us. Let me quickly kind of take you through the what exactly and why and all that thing. Before that, I would want to just why this idea came in is because we've been working, the TMC team, like Kaushal said, we have a Jaffna chapter, very successful chapter and very active chapter, I would say. And there was a small thought on we need to participate in the development process, because as TMC is a professional body, it's all corporate professionals who come into basically knowledge sharing with a younger generation or coming up managers. That was the organization's thought. On this whole process, we also have expanded into working with universities and working on investment forums like this. So this is going to be one of our key projects for the next couple of months. Since April it has been. It started working in April, May, and then there we go. We had the first meeting with the Northern Governor in we had the first communication with him in August, and then we had the first meeting subsequent to that, and then now they work very closely. So just to on the program, you know now what TMC is about. On the program, Jagan, if you can just push, just go to the next one, if you would. The next one, please. Right. So, so if you look at the whole program itself, we are looking at a region which has got the attention of, in terms of what the national body can develop areas. Board of Investment is looking at, they have a bigger plan to develop KKs, Parantan and Mangulam. That's just a start. But then it doesn't confine into these areas. All northern province, any area is in for development. But in these three areas, what I just mentioned, KKs for all, Paranthan for largely industrial, Mankulam is agricultural purposes. These lands, government is bringing these land together in certain area, but outside this area, development happens. The next thing is, while we all know there are a lot of areas, a lot of focus sectors which are there, we are identifying 4 key areas in. because we want to focus. And also these key areas have been looked at from a background research which is been done, and also the locally how the development is currently being looked at. So key is agricultural and fisheries. And having said that thing, we are not leaving dairy out, but the focus is on agri and fisheries. Then comes the education. Education and IT, because in education focus is getting into IT. Then in tourism, under tourism we also look at retail tourism and heritage and culture, because largely tourism is going to depend on that as well. Then energy, the energy sector, we would want to call it energy because that covers a larger area, while renewable solar power and even ocean marine energy that we currently, the Jaffna Vavuniya University is doing research, they have a pilot running as well. So these are the areas. In addition to this, as areas which will go as cross sectors, which will be themes which will be cross sector into these 4 areas that we spoke. One is healthcare, because there are all these areas are in with people. And healthcare sector, yes. Number 2 is SME and startups in, because all these sectors also do have SMEs and startup, and the northern region, like Sri Lanka, is just going towards it largely. And northern region, there is a lot of reasons why SME and startups will go scoring high. We have something like 64,000 women, single women-owned households, which are they are moving into some of these areas, and also the youth, some of the educated youth, and even others are into startups. And if you look at what TMZ is doing, we become the facilitator. We are bringing all the stakeholders to one table. That's the way I would put it in. The government institution, national government, the local government, which is the Northern Province governor, and the government, the district secretariats and the DO offices, all of them in. And we also bring in the 2 universities, because the program, we are putting it in front as we are driving the youth with the program in, because they are the future. Long-term sustainability comes with youth, and also it also gives responsibility. And then we would try to retain some of the migration which is happening in there. And the other area is also local citizen groups and larger interested groups, like who would want to see development happening, who are very much involved in. And this group currently is one of the good examples of that. Then chambers, local chambers, national chambers in. And in addition to that, there are small groups which are participating. Some of them are here, some of them are overseas, they are still linked to. The last one is the way that we see development is it's innovation driven in all the sectors, and then investor ready regions, because there are also, it's not that we are going to create something new. Development is already happening. We are only enhancing and accelerating this whole process by bringing everyone together. While doing all these things, we ensure the culture in the region is retained, and the environmental sustainability is maintained as well. Moving on to the next one. Jagan. Thank you. So why the northern region got focused in when we talked to the national government, the Colombo, the leader of the country, the leadership, the ministries, they're all very keen, because it is part of the policy as well, government policy, to develop northern region. Why? We are very closer to the largest democracy in the world, India, and then we are also having our the logistic factor, access factors, which is positive towards Sri Lanka to the region. One is the port, Kankesentre port, then the Palale airport, which is being currently, there are flights in from KL and India, but they are looking at expanding this international airport. Then also the connectivity through ferry from the northern and also from Talamanar areas to India, plus the A9 highway and the Mana bridge. It gives a lot of logistic facilities. If it goes in, then there is an advantage of exports going from there. It reduces cost from something like 33 to 22% in. So the price of any product can come down. And moving on in this again, if I were to, so we have a population of 1.3 million, closer to by around in the northern region. And like in the rest of the country, 93% literacy rate. That leaves us somebody to come into investing. They would say, are we going to cater to the 1.3 million? No, answer is not even 2.23 million. Whichever the industry which will come, the investment, we would be looking at larger, we should be looking at, because as we all know, whatever that industry larger comes in is for exports primarily as well, while we cater to the country and the region. Number two is the academic backbone helps because already they are into a lot of research, especially the Vauna University is into research in agriculture, into marine and other, even the business faculties and IT. The Jaffna University has AI programs which is running there as well. And the growing the diaspora interest in terms of supporting this region is also there. Like for instance, the Canada, UK, France, Australia, and also in the Europe, and not to miss the US as well. And the, like I said again, SME, the women and the youth force is quite large in this region. So we should be able to bring them also to participate. Moving on to the next one, Chekan. Right. So we again, just a quick into the same thing what I've just said. It is it's a investor forum. It's a global investor forum. We are not leaving the local investors to come because businesses, corporates can expand into these areas, while international investors, global investors would come in either with financial support or with projects to support, in particular projects to support. So investment. So, and also, even though we identify 4 key areas, but there are in the 4 key areas, there is a lot of areas which can actually be identified. Those I'll go into the next in later. Again, collaboration can be with the government, the regional sectors, the locals, the academic sectors, the collaborations would happen. Impact of it is long-term sustainability. It is not short-term. Everything that will be looked at is long-term that we would be looking at. Moving on from there. The summit sustainability, okay, like I emphasizing on the 4 key areas, just a quick in, if there is anything I will end of it, I will be able to talk about it. Agriculture, fisheries in modern, from the traditional, modernize the agriculture and fisheries areas. And these are not new, already this is happening, so it is only to enhance. In some of these areas, also exports in agriculture, the paddy, northern region is placed for something like 48 varieties of paddy. Some, not everything is currently only very few varieties have been focused on, but the region, even when we are visiting Mana, there are people who are exporting some of the other varieties into some of the diaspora living areas. So there is an opportunity of agri-exports that can happen. In seafood, I don't have to say, we know the importance of seafood for the northern seafood. The processing will make it much more visible and much more viable for export in there. The sea cucumber farming and is very high currently, which is happening in a lot of interest in these areas in the northern region. They are harvesting quite a lot, and this is getting into more like China and those places. And in all these areas, what is required as for investment is, we're looking at very basic thing to high profile, high tech base. The basic thing can be cold storage. They need cold storage facilities and warehousing facilities, processing, modernizing, drone-based in all those agriculture, drone technologies, hybrid varieties. So it is so huge. It's a very large area which we are looking at. Same with fisheries again. And coming to tourism, Sri Lanka is in the, just at the beginning, at the doorway into tourism. We have a large potential in tourism, but northern region has even a larger, because northern gates have not been open for tourism large. People had been speculating, but slowly local tourism and also people are traveling into these areas. But we haven't even touched the iceberg, and it's quite large. And why large is the ecotourism is going to be very large in the northern region with Mana, places like Mana, Mullaitivu, areas are, you have the Gulf of Ireland, then you have the bird sanctuaries happening. There is a lot more happening in these areas. And also the Adams Bridge. Lonely Planet had rated Sri Lanka in the top and northern region has come on top as well. So that includes Jaffna Fort, Adams Bridge, the bird sanctuaries are part of the Lonely Planet booking, and people are taking note of it. They want to travel. These areas need to go into development, and the local area district officers have plans in what they should be doing to make it this a commercially viable thing as well while we exhibit these things. They need investment, so they have a plan. So these are things that we'll going towards forward. I'll tell you about it, but this is all in there. Then in terms of beaches, we have some of the beautiful beaches, cultural places, heritage places, what people would want to visit. And India has 77 million tourism happening as of now. And largely tourism attraction in India today is through the heritage temples. They don't come to go to the temples, but that is what is attracting, and then after that they go into the rest of the things. So imagine a small percentage of that come from India. The flights are there. If they come in, all of them would be coming into the rest of the country as well. So northern region tourism is pretty large. It is also one of the primary areas for discussion at the summit. And just to give you a little teaser, places like the Government Tourism Board, Tourism Promotion Bureau, in addition to that, even UNDP, United Development Fund, the UNDP is also looking at this sector to kind of what they could support to build. The third one is education. In education, IT specific in. While we look at education as a whole, the region, we don't have to tell, education is key, primary in these areas. They're also looking at courses. Today morning, I was talking to somebody and said, the northern region has to move out from the thoughts of engineers, doctors, architects, and accountants to move into other areas which are highly paid, required in across the globe. Opportunities of employment is very high. While I agree, I think the northern region children had moved forward. Only thing is they don't do that in northern region or in Sri Lanka. They're doing this overseas, because when you see overseas, they are into some of these kids are doing extremely well if you can only retain a percentage of them. But having said that thing, yes, professional skill development into leadership motivation is key. And I'm very proud to say TMC had signed up with Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing. We have an MOU running through along with the University of Jaffna for do some programs locally. In addition to that, other skills in that the unskilled people to get unskilled laborers to get advanced training. NEDA, which comes under Ministry of Industries, had supporting. The chairman was visiting all the sites with us as well, Mr. Lakshman. They are willing to invest on training for unskilled people as well. But this area needs more support. So some of the trainings can come from wherever all of you all are connected to some of the universities in this area. Kula, I know you all were visiting Canadian universities. I know you have some working happening as well. So some of these things definitely has caught your eye as well. In energy, the fourth one, like I said, while all these things are happening in Mana, the wind energy, there is a solar energy which can be harvesting. Solar power will help, because today in Colombo, in Sri Lanka, they're talking about battery cells being rechargeable cells we are looking at for bikes and cars and things. In the northern region, again, they are looking at this. But if houses can be solar powered for their own use, and they can rechargeable batteries, they can not only they can have for their own use and for paddy, for wee cleaning and everything, and even the other regular use and whatever. In addition to that, they will be able to make some money as well. These projects are currently being looked at, and these areas for energy being looked at. Energy, the Vavuniya University is much into this, and they in their partnership with us, they also would bring this to table on the day. At the bottom of it, Gehan, you may want to just move a little up to get to the cross-sector themes in, which is key. Just a little, if you can just take it up a little. Right. On to, if you look at the startups and SMEs in the last one on that thing, see, there is a lot of local SMEs which are operating in the past. For instance, handloom, artisans, painting, Palmyra-based jewelries which are made out of palmyras and wooden crafts, things like that. Those are today SMEs which are not really getting prioritized in. Now, across the world, a lot of organic products get popular and they're very premium, high price products as well. Now, some of these things are in northern region for exports in. So by supporting these women-led ventures into and also youth-led, and we'll be able to get exports running as well. So startups and SMEs in those areas is key. In addition to that, all the other startups, food packaging, savories, spices too, all of them. In this area, one additional thing I would say, some of the things, mostly exports are currently focused on Sri Lankan living territories in where places like Canada and UK packed items are going. Most of the products are not certified nor under branded or packed in. So, which is required in if you want to do large scale exports in. This was looked at, and again, TMC had taken the initiative to get Sri Lanka SLSI unit. In fact, it was, I must give credit to Mr. Kaushal because he went behind it with the Secretary General of the SLSI, Sri Lanka Standard Institute, to get a unit in Jaffna. They are willing to have a hub in Jaffna because most of them don't do this thing because of they have to come to Colombo and wait for 3 to 6 months to get the products quality certified in. So now they're looking at moving an office to North. In addition to this, the Vavuniya University had been working on it to get SLSI certification program happening. So what is going to happen is Jaffna, the Vavuniya University has agreed to house the SLSI in their premises, which means it's almost on go. It'll come. The governor had the Northern Province governor is part of this whole thing, so he will be coordinating or he'll be working with the SLSI unit while Mr. Kaushal can expedite this process happening quicker, and it'll get housed at Vavuniya University. So it's for real is happening. In other products, the palmyra, then the coconut, the cashews, all three are highly exportable products. In palmyra, there is a lot of work currently being done, but there again, branding, certification, and much high value products can go through that could be looked at. In coconut triangle, Jaffna comes as second, and again this area can be very focusedly looked at to develop. Cashews, we just came to know recently in the northern region, the Mana area is very good for cashew plantation. And there are also there is a young lady whom we met, Gihan, you know that she is actually having a cultivation which is happening. So so these are things in the world market. All these three products have a huge market. So if only we can get these things properly into certified and exportable, we are talking pretty large numbers could be spoken. So, but these needs investment. And the other things, what I've already told you. Healthcare, Jaffna has one of the largest, the teaching hospital is working like a base hospital, and it is known for cardiology. They're very popular. In addition to that, even in Mankulam, I'm told the child and mother care and unit is very popular and is very advanced one which is available there. And the ratio for medical practitioners to population, the Jaffna is very positive compared to the rest of the country because there are a lot of staff and medical practitioners are there. Having said this again, the trained nurses, there is lack of trained nurses and healthcare people who are there. It is an investment that is required in as well. Moving forward, in the next one, if you look at, so this we all know, but just to kind of, yeah, so we know everything that is required for products to move out. We have the KK Sport, you have the airport, we have the railroads happening, we have the bridges, we have the A9. What is needed is they need to be expanded, or we need to invest on them to kind of have them for much larger operations to have. And if you look at the railroads, we don't have railroads which can connect to bring the cargo rail are not operating currently. So the cargo rail to have, we need to have a parallel line happening. So this has been discussed with the Minister of Industry when they spoke. The government is looking at it initially to have a night line, overnight transport to happen, but subsequently a second line. In the A9 road, as we all know, A9 road need to develop in if we were to have this as a much larger into the northern region to operate. So all these areas, while it's there, the infrastructure is there, it need to expand and investment is required as well. Moving forward on the next one, Gehan, yeah. So in the community, when you look at, so we have the partnership to support the community. It's a very active community. Life goes on. There is a lot of good things which is there. But what we need is a little more up, Gehan. Gehan. So we are bringing the national body and the ministries together. There are 9 ministries which has been communicated with, including the fisheries, agriculture, the transport, the technology, foreign affairs, you name, all of them are brought in because they're related into there, so that they all participate. Participate by supporting, not by just verbally just giving a promise. No, they are all participating. They are all very supportive on this thing. The leadership is supportive in starting from the highest office to the next office, because they want to see development of the country will come through the northern region developing as well. Because at the moment northern region develops and the economic growth happens and the GDP grows, the Sri Lankan GDP grows up as well. And employment is not just going to be only for people from, if you have a development happening in Mankulam, obviously people who are looking for jobs in even Anuradhapura, those areas, going to work. It's not that it's only for those areas. The country is expanding, opportunities come through. Same like how the northern kids come to southern areas and work. The Board of Investment, all these, the BOI, the Sri Lanka Tourism Board, the National Exporters Chamber, then NEDA, IDB, said, comes under Ministry of Industries. All of them are participating. When I say participating, they are participating to support skill development. They are participating to support local, any requirement which is therein, and also in supporting those who investors are coming in. One of the things that was in the past, which was an issue, is when somebody comes in to invest, it takes a longer period, as long as it can be 1 year, or it may be more than that. So at present, the government says 3 months, any documents, everything is presented right, all requirements giving, 3 months, they should be able to get the clearance in. Next comes, we've also been asking about, can we not have a one-stop shop in northern region? The government is looking at it, how they want to have the first one in Colombo, and then following that, probably the next priority becomes northern region to have. So people don't have to come to Colombo to find out about Board of Investment or exporters or anything. They can have everything in one place, and that currently being looked at. First comes the Colombo, then after that northern region will get the preference in there. And foreign missions, already Indian High Commission is participating in this program. They are supporting with the research personnel, and they are also supporting in identifying partners who can support the agricultural industries, the industries which are related, IT, all of them. So they are working with us. They're very supportive, and they would. In addition to that, all the other foreign missions through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we are approaching them, which means they will participate in this. I can see here, Kula, you come from Canada, then there is Australia, which is happening, US, which is happening. So all these, the foreign missions, you're talking to this. Kula, I know that you work very closely with Canadian as well, Ministry, the foreign mission as well. Similarly, I think even the Australian foreign mission is being contacted in. So all of them, if they come through, all of y'all, when you participate, you have much more closer connectivity working with them with various projecting, and then they would come in. How this project, what you all do is very valuable currently. How this project can actually enhance the working currently happens is, this project is being taken into a larger proportion with all the stakeholders participating. So when we all come together, then what we can do through this project can become much larger. So it is not that we are only facilitating, we want you to the international community, the diaspora community to come participate in this to take it forward. So just one more to go. Just Jehan. Can forward. One more to go, please. Right. So this is going to be the agenda that goes through. This is a preliminary outline agenda. We have 2 days of conference that will happen. The first day would be your inaugural day. You will have all these speeches which would happen which is, so which would happen in why in Sri Lanka investment and why the northern region is the most potential at present in, and what are the opportunities which is there, and what are the sectors, and all these areas would be, there'll be speakers, keynote speakers, and panel discussion which will happen through. Then the first day, second part of the program, will identify the sectors, the 4 sectors what I said. We will have keynote speakers on those. Then we will have speakers talking about the sectors. We will have 5 minutes each of panel that will consist of 5 to 6 of them, a 5 minute of introduction of various different. The panel will consist of the person who will specialize in that area, a government person who will be related to that industry, and a local government person who will be part of that, and then also a corporate who is involved in it, and the investors or the entrepreneurs who are working. So it's very practical. These areas can be improved in with any suggestions that you may want to bring in, but this is how the structure goes. And then on the second day of the program, and end of the program on the day 1, we will have a networking evening which will happen, which is basically people of this different kind of the national government to all the people who would be the key people whom one need to, they'll be available. So the networking session is very important for people who will be visiting the country, and also people who are, all of you all who are coming from other rest of the countries who would be here as part of the northern people who are interested in development of the region. And the second day is technical sessions. The breakout session will be technical sessions of the 4 areas, the 4 pillars that we call it. We focused on the day 1, second half. What I told you, the fisheries, the agricultural, the medical, to all of them. So it's a full day program for all sessions. There'll be 4 different conference facility areas which will separate them, and different topics will be under these sections will be carried through. End of the thing, each of those 4 groups will give a report in as what the outcome of those sessions in, and all 4 reports will be put together as one, as the NIS, and what is the outcome of this program. And once we have done it, and once we have vetted through and all of it, the document will be submitted to the national body and to the Ministry of Industries and the people who will take action to kind of going through this. So we close this with a cultural program of the Northern region, something that Northerners would be, and Northern University and the Faculty of Visual Arts is coming together to put this. We are also getting the support of the Indian government to get certain facilities to get them to do this cultural show in a nicer way. Basically, this is the 2-day program that we are looking at. So this is very basic. I think I've covered most of it. I'm not sure. I'm sorry if I've taken a long period, but I think, okay, so the cover also, if you see the brochure, which you will all get a copy of it, the brochure, while giving the details, we also had the cover of the brochure gives the Jaffna Fort. Why? Because Jaffna Fort is one of the longest, it is on Lonely Planet, number 1. Number 2, is a place everyone, one of the oldest heritage places of somebody who had seen the best of the country and come and landed and built a fort in there in 1618. Which is pretty old. And this is also put out, this is also heritage building. UNESCO is trying to list it under their buildings. Yeah, that is number 1. Then if you see inside, we also have, I will send you all of you all will have a copy of it. We'll send you the e-brochure copy to everyone here today. We also showing the Valkai, the Mana bird sanctuary being highlighted as well, because this has a huge potential not really being in. So, number 3 is also the Adams Bridge. This is a historical bridge which is there. One day, all our sustainable things would be, we are looking at transportation, exportability, all these are connecting areas. So we are showcasing this inside the brochure. If you really look at the brochure, backdrop of every page shows some of the best of areas in the country, including the universities, the bridge, the Mana Bridge, the A9 Road, the fields, the Panay Palam, you name it, and those visuals are in that. So it was very carefully thought out, done brochure just to showcase the beauty of this part of the country as much as Sri Lanka is. So this is whatever it is. And thanks, Jehan, for the time. I hope I haven't overshot your time. I think I did, but I hope I did some justice to you.
Thank you, Shanti. That was really interesting. I see Sati has his hand up, but I'm going to take the privilege of the chairman and uh, make one particular statement. And that is that yesterday, the Chamber of Northern Exporters had a presentation, had a function. And at that function, one of the speakers, Mr. Thayaharan, who's HNB's regional credit head for the North and East, one of the things he said was that the investors should also be investing time. And I think that we should, or the government should allow people to come in, experienced people, give them visas, help them stay in Jaffna for a year or 2 years to allow us to benefit from their experience and their network. Because we talk a lot about investment in terms of money and routes to market, which are both vital. But I think also the government needs to allow experienced people come and spend a couple of years. It's very difficult for people to get visas to stay here and other things. I know maybe when you're talking to the government, that's something you can raise. Sati, please ask your question. Then we have Raj, Janan, and Tam is number 3. Sati, please go ahead. Sati, you're muted.
Hi, TMC members and Kasha and Shanti. Shanti, nice presentation. I actually had the privilege. I'm a long-time member of TMC as well as Jaffna Club. So one of the things I would like to suggest that we should also look at the session of co-investing as for with the southern entrepreneurs. As so co-investing in northern district on investment. So this is a thing which Jagan knows. I have been talking about it for a long time because one of the issues is that northern province do not have enough management capacity as well as technical capacity. So if we connect these two, so that will also help develop that capacity in the north. The co-investing is my point here. Thank you.
So,
Thank you, Bharti.
Jagan, just to quickly give an answer to him.
Yes,
So for the
Shanti.
summit, we are inviting the top 30 companies. We are writing to them direct and asking them to be part of the summit itself. That is number 1. Number 2, all communication that we are doing for marketing on also web as well as social media is in 3 languages. Because you're absolutely right. The local investment needs to be there from the southerners for skills and for the expertise in management and plant and machinery. Already they're doing, and they're coming in there to participate would only make a larger market and larger expertise and things happening. Thank you.
Shanti,
Okay.
Shanti, good to have the top 30, but what I would suggest is bring in the National Chamber of Commerce and COIL. I'm sure, Kasha, you are a member of, you are the president of COIL now? COIL is one of the dynamic chambers and invite them, spend time, and National Chamber, which both has the medium and small investors and South, who will be the most susceptible partners for co-investing, I believe.
Sati, we have already, actually, we are in contact with COIL. They are very good friends of ours. And Manjula is the president now. And National Chambers, we are very much connected. We have invited all of them.
All right, that's good. Thank you.
Thank you, Sati. Janan,
I'm available in Colombo for the next 3 months. So if there's anything, Kasha, you want to, I'm willing to work on this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Janan in New York.
Yeah. Shanti, thank you very much and a brilliant presentation, and you guys have done a wonderful job. I'm really looking forward to be there and be part of it. One of the things I really want to address is as investors, and I have been doing this for the last like 7, 8 years, and the biggest difficulty we have is the local bureaucracy. And when you organize a summit like this, how do we educate them? Like, you are promoting investment at the same time when these type of investment proposals come. Like right now I'm doing a project, like a integrated farm project, and one part of it is like growing tilapia, in ponds. And we have almost got 8 department permission, but more than a year, we haven't got the approval yet. So there are we see a lot of bottlenecks due to the government departments being not very efficient. So what I feel is like one part of it, sometimes we really have to educate them and make them understand, like bringing investment, what does it do to the local community? Like, for example, last time I had to sit with a district secretariat and explain, if I bring $1 million and put a factory here, about 60% is going to be spent locally. So 600,000 local businesses are going to benefit from that money. And you need to think in that terms. Every investment is going to enrich the people in the community. So that kind of a knowledge is lacking a lot there. So this is something for you to think about. And so other than that, thank you for doing this and brilliant. Looking forward to being part of it.
Thank you. Thank you, Jana.
Yeah.
Thank you, Janan. Thank you. Tam in Toronto.
Yes, thank you, Ranji. Thank you for the excellent presentation. I have 3 questions and comments. One is the warehousing part that you mentioned. I hear that Mr. Rajaratnam suggested once at this forum, I believe, to build warehouses to store paddy, because the northern farmers are being exploited by the rice mafia. So in order to store the paddy long enough to see the price rise or whatever, I think that's one thing that has to be addressed. The other thing is that the farm produce, the northern farmers are taking their produce to Dambulla market. Right off the bat, they have to pay a 10% discount because of the wastage of things like that. So they are being exploited as well. So like you said, there's a cold houses or something, some warehouses built to store their produces. That would be better. So those 2 things need to be addressed. And in the meantime, have you assessed the labor pool, labor support in the northern region for if you bring in the investors and entrepreneurs from outside, whether they have enough labor to support their ventures? I hear now in Jaffna, if you were to engage in some construction business, you have to bring labor from the south. So not enough people, skilled or unskilled. They are not ready or they are not skilled. That's something that has to be looked at before we set on expanding the markets there. Number 3 is on the tourism side. I believe Jagan can attest that the tourism board does not give enough exposure to the places in the northern region. They don't support the industry as much as they do for the southern part, I think. So that when you meet the tourism board, if it is involved in the coming seminar and all that, I think we should address that as well. So those are the 3 things that I would like to bring it to your attention.
Thank you, Tam. Vasi in Colombo.
Yeah, Jagan and Mr. Rajabaksa and Shanti, what an impressive presentation. I think one of the best I've seen so far. I have a simple request. to your thing. You've done a good job. I want you to pick one small project, like becoming self-sufficient in one project in the northern province, like for example, poultry or eggs. And if we can all get together and do that, so that we can measure it in 1 year or 2 years' time when this happens again. That's all my request, to become self-sufficiency in producing eggs. Thank you.
Okay. So Vashi, I want to answer that question. Vashi, actually, that's a good suggestion. Shanti will note down that, and we will work on that. Actually, now we are mostly trying to focus on the artisans in the northern district. So we have a very good foundation for that, and we are getting collecting all information on the handloom sector and many other, because we are very positive that we will get some support from well expert person on designing this handloom, and which he had proven himself in the past. We want to bring him back with some government support and donor funding also. So poultry, we'll work on that. That's a good idea. Thank you. And also to answer the question that was not a question actually, he made some suggestions about the government bureaucracy. Yes, this have been told to me even by Kula many a times, right? So this is the reason why we have stepped in uh, to we have been having a very frequent conversation, discussion with the government, highlighting these issues that the northern province is having. So as a result, the government have decided to have a facilitation center in Colombo. So I have requested, once that is successful, because they are talking about 36 authorities to come under one roof, 32. So I have requested that to be set up in the northern province, and also to see that how ease of doing business forum, which is more centralized to Colombo, right, to be held in northern province. So this have been very positively accepted. So I think with our summit findings, we will be highlighting those to the government, which they will be seriously will take to into consideration. In fact, yesterday I met the president, and I presented to him about our event, and what he said was, Kaushal, you do this. Whatever the support you need, you tell us. We are with you. So that's a great motivation for us. So the bureaucracy, definitely it's hindering, and if I think it was Vasantan, no, who mentioned about that earlier. If you can send the details to Shanti, we will take it up and see how we could sort out this issue.
Chairman,
That was from Janan, I
Yeah,
think.
Indra, thank you, Indra. That's one thing. But mainly, I was looking at the overall big picture, like how
Yeah,
do we bring awareness among these bureaucrats? Investment is very important, and it has to be like the
yeah,
process has to be in a quick process. And like sometimes, I mean, I have been dealing with them a lot, and the knowledge part is missing there. It's like every investment which comes into the local area is going to benefit everybody. So
yeah.
that is what.
Understand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
We will take note of that, and we will take required action. Actually, as Shanti said, we are inviting the southerners, the big boys, to come and invest in North, which have been very positively taken. And also to answer one of the questions that was asked by someone about the northern tourism. Northern tourism master plan have been done by UNDP, and day before yesterday was the day to be presented, but due to bad weather, we couldn't have it. But very soon, External Resource Department and UNDP together they will be presented to us the Northern Tourism Development Plan. So once that is done, we all will get to know what development will take place. Yeah.
Thank you, Kaushal. Gobi, and then Jiva after Gobi. Gobi in Colombo, I believe.
Yes, thank you, Jagan. I'm representing SLIIT and Northern Uni. So it's nice to see this event happening. I think SLIIT received a letter. I think Professor Gamage has asked me to follow up. I sent an email to Shanti as well. You know what sort of a support I think they would expect. In terms of, I mean, from my experience, our experience, we have been doing this for the last 2 years. We have our campus in Jaffna, and at the moment we have about 400 students studying for IT and business. So we see two major challenges. One is for the local students. There are not many industries after they graduate. They will come to Colombo and then they may not return back. So that is a challenge. So I think we need more investors to start companies in the northern province, not just in Jaffna, but in other districts as well, so that we can retain these people. I think in that line, I would support what Mr. Satyendra has suggested. It is easy sometimes to collaborate with the existing Sri Lankan company and start an operation in the north, because when we take guests to Northern Uni, one of the challenge that we face, the accessibility is very, very bad now. I think people are not going to spend 8 hours driving all the way to Jaffna. There are no proper domestic airline which we can rely on. Second, we have a major disadvantage in terms of hotels and resorts. So say if we have 50,000 tourists coming in and there are not enough places to accommodate them, I think those areas, there should be some investment along with the local, say collaborating with John Keels or some other companies to start an operation. And in terms of the education sector, we have another challenge which we need to address, is that to recruit students from India, which is a very big challenge. We have tried for 1 year. We have spent a lot of money on that. And one reason is the visibility of Sri Lanka is not that good in India. So students are reluctant to join. Even if we get students, we have one student at the moment from India studying at our Northern Uni, and they're getting these visas done and all that it's painstakingly difficult. So that is another challenge we have to overcome. The visas for students and investors should be very flexible, friendly. On the other hand, we need to work with the local government, because whatever you have presented, that is there in the south, in Colombo, in the western province. But if those companies can go and start an operation in the northern province with an international partner, or an investor, like we did. For example, SLIT went to Jaffna with a foreign investor. So, it is a SLIT campus, but invested by a foreign investor. So I think that model will work very quickly, and it does not require a lot of approvals locally, and the operations can start very fast. So that's my comment and a request. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Taken. Note taken. We are noted, and that's a good idea. Yes, that's the way forward. We also think. Thank you.
Okay,
Kula, you want to say something?
Yeah, so I have two more hands up, Jiva and then Kula in Toronto. So
Okay,
Jiva, would you like to?
Jiva, go ahead first.
Jiva, you're muted.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi. Hi. Okay. I'm going to, well, for many of you who don't know me, I'm an economist. So I'm going to really come in from the economic angle on this. And I think one area, and thank you very much for the presentation, great presentation. And I think this is something that is required. We've been talking about it for the last 10 years in the Northern Province, but it has not come to pass. And so I'm glad that you've got some traction with the government and with the private sector to make this happen. So I think one area in the sessions that's missing, I think, are the policy reforms. I mean, it's not specifically for the northern areas other than for infrastructure, but I think there are lots of other areas in the policy areas because there's diaspora who's been coming in and out to try to invest, but have not been because the policy environment does not enable investments in Sri Lanka as well as in the northern province. And I'm looking at things like land, labor, finance, things like that, and policy changes, etc. And people have mentioned visas and all that sort of stuff. So there's lots of other things. So I think that there has to be a discussion on the policy reforms required. And a lot has been written about it by a lot of the advocatas and the veritas and a lot of it, which applies to Sri Lanka as a whole, and obviously it includes Northern Province. So unless you do that, I mean, 16, 17 years hence, if you do not change those policies, you're not going to get big money coming in, And I think Kula agrees with me. I mean, the Sri Lankan Canadian industry group has been also focused on this, has been having many, many discussions with the government, and nothing has happened. So I think that there has to be a section where there is a commitment by government, and central bank is not included in the discussions. Ministry of Finance needs to be there because they're very key players. Ministry of Land needs to be there. But these are all very key areas and this is one of the, places, where diaspora has told me, whether it is in Australia or in Canada or wherever I've been to England, is, these are very many risks. And that's one of the reasons also Sri Lanka has issues with FDIs coming in. So I think if you could, you could make it specific to the northern province, but it's an all-island problem. But there has to be a section on the policy issues, and that is one of the reasons when we talk about bureaucracy inertia, the primary reason being the bureaucracy themselves are very unsure of what the policies are in these different areas. And they're not willing to take the risk of making decisions. So that,
Yeah.
and then this one-stop shop, we've tried it, 2015. I remember Indrajit Kumarasamy coming and opening the one-stop shop at Jaffna district, Kacheri. We've had it, we've seen it in the last 10 years I've been back in the country since 2015, so seen a lot of this. So unless we have a commitment, and then on the infrastructure, I'll stop with that, is that, we need to get the government to focus on making a logistic hub at Palali Airport. It's very important. We need to extend the airport runway, and these are political decisions, which they're unwilling to agree to. We've been discussing this since the war ended. Same with KKS. So I think that if you really want something tangible at the end, other than just a report, and if you want commitments from the diaspora, I think, which is what we all want, there are a lot of policy issues that we need to unravel and agree to and get a commitment. I'll stop with that. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Jiva.
you very much. Yes, I think this is another conversation we have to take place offline. Jikan, if you can connect Jiva with us, I think
Yes.
that will help a lot, right? Okay, I do, because it will take time if we go to discuss that. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I'm going to give this to Kula now, and then Vasanthan, and then I'm going to stop. because we're overrunning. So Kula, please.
Thank you, Jagan. Thank you, Shanti, for the wonderful presentation. And Jivaka, thank you. But I was going to say everything. Jivaka has complaints. So all the complaints, I don't want to repeat the complaint, but I want to come with some solutions or suggestions. Number one, as investors, when we come, we need to have some guidance. We need to have an office who can guide us. Hey, these are areas that are available, or these are the businesses that you can partner with, or the other area we have done the feasibility studies and things like that. So it's much easier for us to start somewhere at one point. It is not there yet. So I'm going to appeal this to Kaushal because I know you are an influential person there. Number two, if you look at India, the 70s, 80s, 90s, up to almost 2000, they struggled. They were almost bankrupt country at the time. And then Manmohan Singh, Prime Minister, came in and created the Overseas Indian Citizens Program, OCI program. That allowed all the foreign Indians to come back and invest in the country as free citizens. They don't have to be Indian citizens, just get a card, OCI card. That OCI card gave them an opportunity to go into India. Not only that person, the grandchildren, son also can come in. See, now if I'm coming and investing, say, $5 million, $10 million, and then it stops with me because my child is a Canadian born to a Canadian parents, has no right to come to Sri Lanka and reside there. Unless we get this overseas Sri Lankan citizen idea or ID card or the status, then my children will come, continuity is there. Otherwise, why would I come and pour $5, $10 million in the country? And then there's no continuity. There's no contingency plan for me. So we need to have that into consideration. These are the beginning of bureaucrats arrangement we can do it. So cash will flow in. And also, if I want to come and retire or if I want to come and live there for winter time, I should be able to. Now there's a program launched recently. I have called my bank and asked me, I'm not a dual citizen, asked me to give me that account number so I can open an account, which I have banking with already. And they said, no, they haven't get any information from the government. Even though it was in the media that one guy got the visa for $200,000 US depositing in the bank account. So I don't know which bank they invested or which guidance we have, nothing. And then another one I want to say, if you can this is going to be a private government partnership when you want to develop a country. We need an intake office. If I want to send a documentation, say I like this project, example KKS, which I have given to the BOI, I haven't heard it for past 4 years. Say if I send it to you, I'm in Canada, our time difference is 10 and a half, 11 hours. So 10 or 9 and a half, 10 hours, or now it's 10 and a half, I believe. So if I send it in the night, they come and they call me at midnight, 2 o'clock, I'm not going to answer my call. If you can have a 24 hours intake office, which we can pay, there's nothing about, this is a business we are talking. A person who's sitting there, take the information and take it to the government as like a one-stop shop. We can create it ourselves as a private entity. And then that person can handle all these requests that we are sending. Okay, I want to invest in KKs or logistics. One of the best business in KKs, like what Tam was mentioning, the storage, not for local farmers, cross-shipping, or they call it cross-docking, to busy airports, ports like Singapore, Chittagong, or even Indian ports over there. We can unload containers and then reship it directly to those individual ports. So there's a lot of money in cross-shipping. I'm in logistics for past 35 years, and I know the cross-shipping is where the Singapore government makes a lot of money. Singapore doesn't need all these shipping going there, but every 5 minutes they unload a ship and load a ship like that because of there being a central point to cross-docking. So this cross-docking alone, we can create a big Manar or KK's harbor and then make a lot of foreign investment come back or income come into the country by just doing that. So there are a lot of opportunities. Even KKs, we wanted to invest minimum $100 million to start with the one phase project, but that hasn't been approved by the government yet because government has been changing. And BOI finally said, sorry, we don't have any answer yet. So I said, okay, fine, we give up on that project. Anyway, so these are the areas, if we can do that, we will bring in the individual investors. Because if a guy lives in Canada, works in running a business, he wants to come expand his business, he needs some support. He needs some local office he can call and walk in there and say, listen, I want environmental support. I want environmental report. I want feasibility. I want that. I want this. So this an office sitting there, he can just send a documentation and somebody will handle it for him. And obviously there's a fee you can charge him. It's not nothing free here. So that's something,
Understand.
if you can look at it, I think your club will make money as well as help us. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Kula. Okay, I will finish Vasantham also.
Yeah, I'll keep it quick. I got one question. I don't know I'm missing, but I think time to time Jahan come up with all these wonderful write-ups about small businesses and all sort of things, Jaffna. But if you think about it, that's what Jaffna is. Jaffna is tons and tons of small businesses, right? And a lot of these businesses, they come up with this creation. They want a small investment. They don't want £1 million or $1 million, but they just want 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, right? So that's in a foreign currency term, it's less than £5,000. But there will be a lot of people in overseas to put that money in. But is there a kind of formal structure or process in place to link those people to those small investors? But what I see is there's a lot of small businesses in Jaffna and wherever in Northern Province come to I don't know, TikTok and Instagram. They post these things, and a lot of these things are very uncontrolled, unofficial, and people want to help, but you just can't trust who is putting it. So I don't know whether there is a process in place for these small businesses to kind of connect with overseas small investors.
Actually, Vasantham, we are launching our website from Monday, right?
Okay.
I think it's already on, Shanti. You're muted.
You're muted.
Sorry. So tonight the website goes. You will see all the details, and the NIS 26 website will be on from today tonight.
Okay, so there we are providing a slot there for connecting and communicating with the possible investors, and it will take little time next week for us to upload the projects.
Oh, right. Okay. So it is there, right? It's coming.
Yeah. So we'll be creating a platform for communication. And one last thing, actually, Jagan, I want to make a request from all of the members on Zoom. Thank you very much for the opportunity. And I see a lot of very valuable information and questions were asked. So Shanti, if you can upload, you can post your email ID on the chat box. I think you all can please send your ideas, suggestions, because we are frequently having discussions with the government, and we will be able to take it up with the government, because we want to see that what we do, right, this effort lasts forever, right? We don't just want to have a summit and then go, but we will see a proper transformation is done, and that should be the northern, for the benefit of North. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thanks a lot for everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Indra. Thank you, Shanti.
Jahan, just one addition in
Yeah.
Kaushal has to mention. It came from what this gentleman was saying. We are working on a portal with the governor and also someone to develop, where the opportunities which are available in the northern can be uploaded, and which will be available for anyone to see, to invest. So with details in, so that can be directly communicated. But I think what you just mentioned about a local investment, small investment, we will see how we can work on that in the same platform.
Okay.
Thank you. One last thing I'd like to say is, you mentioned the A9 needing improvement. Now, as someone who's gone up and down from Colombo a lot, actually the thing that needs improvement is not so much the A9 as getting to the A9, because the road from Colombo to Anuradhapura is very difficult. The A9 is a beautiful, well-built road, pretty much straight line. But getting from Colombo to Anuradhapur is a real headache. Anyway, we've run over, so as is usual, I will wish our friends in New York have a good breakfast. In the UK, lunchtime. Here, it's time for my dinner, and Kurt in Australia, time to go to bed. Thank you very much, everybody.
I hope you all survive the storm.
Thank
Yes,
you.
indeed.
Thank you all.
Thank you, guys. Well done.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Safe. Thank you.
Jagan,
Yeah.
Jagan,
Yes.
Jagan, you think we can get the minutes of this meeting?
Well, there's a recording. There are no minutes,
Right.
but there
Okay.
is a
You
recording.
okay. Pass it on to Shanti so that she can extract the key points.
Okay.
Yes, I'll do that.
Thank
I
you very
send
much.
that to everybody, so everybody will get that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Shanti.
Bye.
Wonderful,
Thank you.
wonderful presentation.
Thank you,
Bye.
Jagan.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Jagan. Well